Hello and welcome to my channel. As always, I'm Cattlebane. I'm here today to compare two figures based on the AT-01 Adamas Machina, which is a transformable figure based on the Flame Toys version of IDW Rodimus. The AT-01 on the left and the AM-01 on the right are two knockoffs of that figure. So let's crack them open and take a look inside and see how they compare. But first, as always, let's take a look at the packaging. AM-01 Hot Rod has a nice picture of the bot mode on the front. It's got the alt mode on the side. Not just the alt mode, but the fully weaponized up alt mode with all the alt mode weapon storage. And it's got another picture of the bot mode on the side with some weapons. And some product shots on the back, showing both bot mode and alt mode. Another picture of the bot in question on the top. And on the bottom as well. Let's take a look at AT-01 with a nice product shot on the front. Very clean. The side is pretty clean. Has a tiny little picture of him. And the other side has a QR code with AT-01 on it. The back has a product shot of both the bot and the alt modes with the combined weapon, and the bottom has nothing. Now, I've already opened these up and I've been playing around with them, but I thought I'd put them in the box just to give you an idea of how they came packaged for unboxing. So if I open this up for the AM-01, comes in a plastic clamshell. And this one comes packaged in alt mode with all of its accessories. Comes with two guns, comes with his buzzsaw arm feature, and it comes with not exactly sure what that is. And I've read through the IDW More Than Meets the Eye and Lost Light comics a lot, so maybe it's a badge, or maybe it's it's definitely not one of those Rodimus, I don't know. So, oh, and also this actually comes in, like the actual figure, because of the premium paint, it actually comes wrapped into plastic, like this type of plastic right here, so that it doesn't scrape against the clamshell. And the same thing with the AT-01. Open this up. This is a little larger because he comes packaged in bot mode. And he comes with the exact same accessories, except this guy's in bot mode, so he definitely has a bigger box. And this guy comes packaged in, wrapped in these bubble plastic wraps. The whole figure does, to make sure that the premium paint doesn't scuff. And if I open these up, everything will fall out. Put it on the side, open it up, take the accessories out. Turn them up so you can see them. You come straight out. Here's AM-01. Open this guy up. Accessories so it doesn't fall out. That's what it looks like instead of this plastic clamshell. I'm sure what everybody's trying to figure out, and probably the reason why you clicked on this video, is to figure out which one of the two is better. One is a little cheaper. Usually the AT-01 is a little cheaper. AM-01 is a little more expensive. And I know the things that I've read online say that the AT-01, the paint quality is poor and there's been some flaking. But to be completely honest, I've had this for over a month. I've played around with it. I've transformed it multiple times. And I have not noticed any poor quality when it comes to the paint. Everything looks amazing on this. Nothing has flaked off. The paint application is pretty on point. Perhaps like around the toes, maybe? No, everything looks really good. So I don't know, I guess maybe the quality depends on, everybody's experience may vary. The feel of the plastic, I've read online that the AM-01 plastic feel is supposed to feel more durable than the AT-01. I haven't felt that difference myself. To me, they feel almost exactly the same. I do prefer the AM-01 over the AT-01 just because there's a few joint string transformation that is much easier to transform on this AM-01 version. Specifically the hip joints. When transforming those, sometimes it feels like I'm going to break them right off on this one. But this one, it just works so flawlessly. That is the only difference I can tell. And plus, people have mentioned that the face sculpts are a little different. I have noticed that they look a little different, but I can't really tell myself which one I prefer. I actually look at both of them and I really enjoy both of them. But once I transform him, we'll be able to take a look at both of them side by side, so you can make up your own mind. First, before we do the bot and alt mode comparisons, let's actually compare the accessories. I have not really been able to tell the difference between the accessories from one to the other myself, except for the fact that the little missile seems to stick a little better inside of the gun on the AM-01 as it does on the AT-01. It seems to fall off a little easier on this one. These are one of the guns, the ones with the little missile. Here's another pair of the guns. And again, I haven't really been able to tell the difference between the two. Even the plastic color, I think, I don't think I don't think I can tell such subtle differences between the colors. And then we have the saw blades. And yeah, I can barely tell the difference. Actually, I can't even tell the difference. And then we have these things. Now, the cool thing about the guns is they actually transform. I can actually lift this up, pull that out, stick this gun in so that they combine, flare these out. Oops. And then this actually comes out too. If you want, you can put that in, and now you have this long gun. And you can do the exact same on both versions. So after transforming both of these into alt mode, I can honestly say AM-01 has much better joint tolerances. This one over here, the AT-01, although still an enjoyable transformation, the tolerances in some parts, like the waist pulling out for bot mode and pushing it in for alt mode, is super tight. And the waist joints are super tight. This one, everything just flows pretty easy. And at no point do I feel like anything's too tight and that I will end up breaking anything. Both of these alt modes look, to me, pretty much exactly the same. They look awesome. The windshield on AM-01 is a darker blue, and on AT-01 is a little more of a like a lighter sky blue. You could take a look, see. Everything else looks the same. All gets tucked in real nice and tight. You can see the back of the heads. And of course, you have weapon storage. But what you can do is separate it out. Bring this back in. Actually, leave that out. Pull this out. And in the back of the hand, there's a slot. Then for this one, and this guy, oh, storage, top here. It's fully decked out. Looks ridiculous, but hey, it's your figure. You can make it as ridiculous as you want, and you can always get both of them and have one just regular and one all decked out, ready for war. Let me walk you through the transformation of AT-01. So we'll put AM-01 to the side for now. Just so you can see what I mean by the tolerances. First thing I'm going to do is the front. Take these out. Then you can actually angle them down and unpeg them from this area right here. And it's on a double joint, so you can actually move it out of the way. Same here. And now you can split the front tires in half. This front tire will come down and it has a slot that it pegs on his back, his robot mode back. Now we'll do the same thing with this one. Split it in half. Swing it around, and then both tires actually peg in to each other. Like that. Once that's done, you collapse the double jointed armature, and then you can wrap this around and hide this whole tire into the top of his shoulder. So now use the double joints, put it against here, line the wheel, bring this forward, and then wrap it around the front, and it snaps really nice into place. Now you can actually lift these up to bring the arms out. Once the arms are out, you can orient them in the right position and then bring his arm cannons over on a double armature. Double armature. Like that. So from here, let's unpeg the back. First, there are pegs that go into the bottom of the feet. So you want to unpeg that first. And then you want to split the legs because there are pegs, or there are ports that peg into the pegs on these sides over here. So you want to unpeg those before you bring this all the way up. Once it's up, I like to rotate it so it's in the right direction. Once that's done, then we have the thighs. What we want to do is disengage. So it's on a slider. You can pull the thigh out this way, but there are 3 parts. Right now, this outer part is stuck to the bottom of the leg, and that needs to be disengaged also. And that's what I have a lot of trouble doing with the AT-01. I have to hold it and try to disengage it. And the reason is because it needs to spin around with the leg as you spin it down so that it points this way. Once that's done, you pull that all the way out. Then you can spin this part in. It has a little piece that will actually end up under here when you push it back, and it holds it all into place. And then you unpeg the bottom here to the foot. You can swing the foot out and rotate it. And then this part has a peg. You unpeg that just to make sure you don't break the peg off. And then you can angle it up while you're angling this. And now use a double joint to pull it into the back of his calf to fill it up, and then you can rotate the part with the wheel down, and then the pipes will line up with these pipes. Then you can collapse the foot, the ankle, and you got one leg all done. And then you do the same thing with the other side. The other side, there we go. I actually got this one a little easier. So now it's separated. And now I can rotate the top part of the thigh while rotating this so that this pointy part stays on top. And then I pull the whole leg out. Sometimes it's easier to disengage the foot first, and then you can rotate this up. This little piece is going to end up under the thigh piece. So you rotate it all the way up, and then you push the whole thigh piece in to lock it into place. Rotate the foot, unpeg this part, rotate it up, and you want to rotate the pipes. Use the double joint to bring it in, and then close this so that the wheel goes into the back of his calf, and then it pegs right into the back of his leg. Right there. These pipes line up, collapse the foot, and you got the legs all done. Now, you want to drop his belt piece. So, and then what you do is you... I'm trying to pull his waist up, and that just engaged his ab crunch. So pull his waist up. This feels like it's gonna break. Okay, just pulled up. Now that his waist is pulled up, you can rotate the top part of his torso right here. So now his waist is split into 3. You got the bottom part that rotates and the top part. So rotate that, make a little room to slide this chest piece out. It's on a slider. Then you want to rotate around. And then this bottom part's going to fill his belly area as you angle this out. Now you can slide it back into place. And then you just rotate the head down forward. And now you can angle that. And now you just have his backpack. You pull that. Now you pull that out. You want to split the wings. They unfold. Then this part plugs into his back first, like that. Then you can fold this down and fold it up, and this will snap into place there. And now you actually have him fully transformed. I'm going to skip to the key parts of the transformation for AM-01 so you can see the difference. Then if we want, at this point, see how easy it was to pull apart the upper torso compared to the other one. Swing this, then pull out here. Let's do it on this side. So we're going to pull this out. Going to rotate. As we rotate, want to make sure this orange piece, the pointy part's pointed up. And then I'm going to detach the foot. Bring the foot down, spin it around. I just bring the foot down just so I can pull this guy around a little easier. Now this is the part that goes underneath this part of the hip. Close the hip. And it's ready. Now let's pull this out. Oh my God, it's so much easier. You rotate this down. Much better transformation. Much better tolerances than the AT-01. There they are. They're both beautiful. Let's take a closer look. AT-01 face on the left, the AM-01 face on the right. Ooh, you can't get that close. Everything else looks fantastic. Even the faces. Whether you like this one or this one better, they both look fantastic. Their tolerances are pretty great. I haven't had any problems posing them. If you want to take a look at the articulation, the head is actually on a swivel that goes back and forth. So you can actually have him look up and look down a lot. You can turn all the way around. And it's on a ball peg, so you can actually do a little bit of attitude on the left, right. And then, of course, his shoulders, you can move them around as this piece to fill it in. It'll actually move on its own if you raise up the hand, the arm. But since the arm is painted, I don't like doing that. I like actually moving that first before I move the arm so that I don't scrape the paint. And then, of course, you have wrist rotation, you have hands, you have double jointed elbow, you have a bicep swivel, you have a waist swivel, you got legs that go all the way up to here, and all the way back, all the way out. You've got about 90 degrees of bend at the knee. You got ankle pivot. You also have a turn and up and down as well. And you can actually extend the double hinge to give yourself more of an ankle pivot. So this guy is super highly articulated. You can get him into some amazing poses. Of course, if you want to take a look at the back, he actually has an ab crunch. If we Move the arm over. When you ab crunch, you'll notice that the whole back part actually moves around with the ab crunch. It's hard to see with this arm. See? And then, one thing I forgot to mention is you actually have butterfly joints, which is great. Some joints are ratcheted, some are just friction, but they all feel good. I somehow unplugged that. There we go. And there you have it, AT-01 and AM-01. You can't go wrong with either. They both look amazing. They both feel amazing. But AM-01 definitely has the better tolerances for transformation and for posing too. And here they are next to my previous favorite IDW Rodimus, Mastermind Creations. They're definitely bigger, definitely a lot more paint, a lot glossier paint. I can't tell if this is all molded. No, that's actually paint on here. There's a lot of molded plastic, but there is paint as well. But yeah, the AM and AT are definitely upgrades. Though this guy is still pretty amazing. But these guys, yeah, these guys. Definitely these guys. Definitely. Right over here. You can see them right there. Thanks again, TF Safari, for sending these my way so I can make a comparison to help everybody be able to tell what they might like, what they might enjoy, what might be the better purchase for them, for all you guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and if you could, please like this video if you liked it. Dislike it if you decide to. That's okay too. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. Let me know if you prefer to stay with your old Mastermind Creations. And I will see you in the next one.